whenever prepared. Ooh, look at that. Do be nice. Miss Redbeard got the dryer clacking over there. Okay, so we're gonna let some people get in here, and we're gonna start reading some comments, some questions, and just have fun, live life. There we go. Nacho's dad, quick in the hole. What is happening? What is happening? Cannonball Repair. Mama's in the house. Miss Trudy. Miss Big Booty. No, it's my mom. What oil for coming mini bike? The clear kind, the clear brownish color. Okay. Give some people some time to get in here. And then Miss Redbeard is going to find me questions people have sent us through whether Facebook messages or Instagram, and we're going to answer them on camera. So hopefully the person asking this question is in here, or it won't be for any count. We only leave our live streams up for about 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes I leave them up for a week if I forget about it, but we normally get rid of them pretty quick. Can you have that bottle you threw? I guess you can.
Nope, sorry.
So we're done pretty good, Jesse. Thank you for asking. Yeah, someone's asking, will we build a independent suspension side by side? Yes. Well, that's what that is. That's an independent 4-wheel drive side by side. We just need to work on it more. I look like somebody's math teacher. Well, Dale. Let me get a couple things, a couple thingy boys. Okay. Getting some people in here. Crowd's small, which is good for you guys because your questions will most likely get answered.
Well, it's Tuesday night. It's new for us.
Yeah, I keep forgetting what day it is. This week's been going by kind of weird. I've been editing all week. Is there anything?
2 days.
Yeah, it's only been 2 days, but it feels like all week. Someone's asking if they can make a juggernaut hook in higher RPMs, like I guess stall it up. And I don't know if Go Power Sports is coming out with any weights for it, but they should be coming out with weights and springs for the juggernaut. I don't understand. I figure they do that on the get-go, come out with adjustable weights and stuff. But they should be, I would imagine, coming out with adjustable springs, like heavier and lighter springs, heavier and lighter weights, and that would be how you engage it. But for now, I don't know if 40 series stuff fits in it. I highly doubt it. I've only had one apart. Nacho's dad had one fail on him, and we pulled it apart and fixed it. I think we fixed it when he was here one day.
You're loading.
So, I'm loading? Mm-hmm. Oh. Is anybody having any kind of a problem with the signal at all? Like, is it laggy or anything? It looks pretty good. Normally it's choppy. So, and I'm running off a charger. A lot of time I don't, and I probably should when I'm live streaming, just to help it out. Someone said, please explain the difference between chains. So you have 35 chain, and then you have 30 chain, then you have 40 and 420. So 30 and 35 is the same. It's just 30 is industrial chain. It has a wider gap in the middle of it. So it's made for like thicker sprockets. So you can run 30 chain on 35 sprockets, but not the other way around. Same with 40 and 420 and 50 and 530. 50 chain can run on 530, 40 chain can run on 420, but not the other way around. And it's just industrial and then motorsports chain is all it is. So the 35, 40, and 50, it goes all the way up in the hundreds. You can get massive chain, but it's for like farmers use 40 chain a lot and stuff. But I don't recommend it because you're going to have, well, it's actually pretty decent running 40 on 420 sprockets, because if you're not good at lining stuff up, it gives you a little bit more wiggle room because a 40 is a wider sprocket, so it gives you that little bit of play. I don't never, someone, Stupid Box is asking, will 35 chain pull a big guy just fine? I think it will, but I like 420. I have a ton of 35 stuff and I don't sell it or get rid of it because one of these days, I'll use it. Oh, Pogo Stick Nick is in here. I
Oh,
haven't
wow.
seen that bouncing around son of a gun in 77 years. He's a dirty old zircon. We don't have that thing no more. Sold it to a guy after we rebuilt it. He blew it up, blamed us for it. Didn't change the oil in 4 months in it and just drove it hard 8 hours a day.
Every day.
Every day his kids rode it out in the farm fields and blamed us for it. It was a horrible experience. Almost burnt me on customers' projects for sure. But yeah, 35 chain, especially if it's a asphalt cart, it's gonna last you forever. But on a mini bike, if you're off roading like a Coleman or anything, you definitely wouldn't want it. Dustin, I don't know how to say your last name. I know you've donated before, and I really appreciate your donation. It helps out a ton. Lily, his 9-year-old daughter, hates her Mega Moto go-kart with no suspension. Without welding, is there something I can get a little bit of suspension for her little cart? Right now I'm upgrading to a pillow on the seat. You can put fatter tires on it and deflate them. That would make a huge difference if you can fit the biggest tire you can fit on it, and then, put like 4 PSI in them. It'll make it handle at high, I'm assuming you probably don't even go fast, but at high speeds, it'll make it a little washy because the tires are so low, but it makes a massive difference. So thank you again for your donation. We really appreciate it. Any idea where I can get a stronger tension spring for the clutch chain for the CT200EX? I do not. Well, I do. You can go Tractor Supply or Co-op or something. They have springs. Like our local Co-op has a massive rack of every spring, like from a trampoline spring to a screen door spring. You have a ton of them. But you can just see what they have. But I'm sure. No problem, Dustin. Thank you again for your donation. What I need if you want to repaint my mini bike frame. Well, good looking paint's always in your prep. And I always say strip it down to bare metal if you're capable of it. You can get aircraft stripper from like Napa or somewhere. It's kind of expensive. Got a boo-boo on my elbow. But that stuff will rip it all off for sure. Alcard Tepez. I hope I'm saying that name right. Thank you so much for your donation. Can y'all upgrade my Bashan Moto Max? Well, we don't work on customer stuff a lot. It's just normally, we've said this 1,000 times. I hate having to repeat myself. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I know people that's in the live streams like, he's answered this. But we don't work on customers' projects much because we're doing the same old thing. It ain't like we're a shop where we have time to fix people's stuff. We barely get videos out on time. You haven't got a video this week. We have them uploaded.
Video everything.
What?
I said, and you have to video everything.
Yeah, I have to video everything, and it's just extremely hard. Like if I had like 2 shop hands that wasn't on camera, they just did work, like fixing lawnmowers and small engines for people. We could see that's what Daniel's original position I wanted it to turn into when we got this property. But Daniel's doing like repairs on cars and stuff now, and he still comes over and works on like carburetors on trucks and stuff for me. But that was my whole idea with him is I was going to put like a carport style building outside, concrete the floor, wall it in, put a little AC and heater in it. So he's comfortable, buy a set of tools for it, and basically pay Daniel like an hourly wage to repair lawnmowers, weed eaters, chainsaws, just be a small engine man. And, but it just didn't work out. And I would love to do that in the future. Honestly, if I could find someone that, wanted to work 40 hours a week and just be here. And someone's asking if we would build him a mini bike. He's in Louisiana. What I like to do is build stuff and then try to sell it. Like the 301 mini bike, you guys will see it in the next week or 2 on the channel. I just haven't tuned the carb. It's ready to ride other than tuning the carb. It'll be for sale once we're done tweaking it out and painting it and stuff. We would sell stuff not painted. I don't care to do that. But thank you again, Alcard, for another donation. You are welcome. I wish we had time or the capacity to hold more vehicles and work on them. We just don't. And I'm by myself.
Did you not do a video about Frank Allen?
Yeah, he just don't want to do them himself, I guess. Stupid Box, thanks for all your help. You are welcome. That's what the whole, like, I started this YouTube channel to make a career out of it. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna just help people out, but, what?
There's a lot of questions. Scroll down.
But, I can't remember, oh, but it was to help people too, because when I got in this hobby, it was so hard to find any questions get answered. No one was answering them. And I'm not saying nothing bad about cars and cameras, but when I watched their videos, I wasn't learning in depth how to do something. And that's what I was like, that someone needs to teach people how to do this stuff, because if you've been doing it, you know it. Why not share that knowledge? And that's what came in here. How much for a stage 4 212? I think I sold the last one for like 1,500, and that was cheap because I just wanted rid of it. Like I was emptying out my shelves. BS Small Engines, we have AC and heat in here, and that's a lifelong goal. Mr. Cool sponsored the channel and hooked us up with those, and they are amazing. It is crazy how good those things work. Speedometer on a 212, you can buy a bicycle speedometer online. It uses magnets and stuff. I've heard they work pretty good. Or a GPS, you can buy a GPS little speedometer that goes on your bike, and you just keep it charged up. Hello, Tommy from southeastern Kentucky. What's a better torque converter or upgraded clutch? I always say run the rear pulley inboard and buy a different spring for it and stuff, and that'll be a huge difference. Have you ever had a serious accident in the shop? Other than just hurting my hands and cutting myself, that's about it.
Had some
Grinder disc exploded. No, not explode. I've never had nothing explode like a grinder disc on me or hurt me, but I've had one kick off, and I knew better when I was cutting with it. I mean, you got to always have the sparks throwing towards you on an angle grinder. That's cutting you right. If you have them thrown away from you, it's going to grab and kick out your hand. Frank, thank you for your donation. I have no spark on my 3 horsepower Briggs. What should I do? I don't know if those I never messed with the 3 horsepower Briggs. I don't know if they have points on them. Yeah, my mom said I caught on fire in the driveway. That was the worst accident. But I would just check clean the flywheel, sand the flywheel real good. And if it's a coil type, and if not, and reset the gap on the points and stuff. You should be good. But yeah, so injuries in the shop. I put my elbow against the header before we wrapped it on the Argo, burned it really bad, got her good. I had a grinder kick, hit my leg. I got a scar from it. It's about that long, and it was, I don't know, 1/4 inch deep at the deepest point. Lonnie jammed my knuckle. It don't look bad, but it filleted it thick. And I just cleaned it, folded it back over, glued her shut. She's fine now. Got a bunch of scars all over my hands from knuckle. One time hit the bandsaw. All really light stuff, but I always worry about my eyes. That's the biggest thing. I'm big on wearing safety glasses because I think that's the most vulnerable part of our body. So quick to lose an eye. I know people who's lost an eye. A guy I worked with, he was blind in one eye from getting tackled when he was a kid, and his eyeball popped out of the socket, Billy. And that's his eyes messed up like it looks wherever it wants to, and it's cloudy and stuff. It's a wandering eye. One eye's looking at you, one eye's looking for you. Can I put a stage 3 header on my stock bike? You're gonna have to jet up the carb if you do that, because these small engines carburetors are real finicky. If you let them exhale better, you gotta let them inhale better. We are from Tennessee. Someone said, is Tilson good? Yes, we like Tilson's a lot. Frank, thank you again for another donation. Thank you, trying to build a chopper like yours. I miss that old chopper sometimes. I definitely don't miss having all these projects. It feels so good when a project leaves. Like the tandem mini bike is done now, and it's going up for sale. So if you're local and interested, we're going to put it up for $1,500. It's got a brand new Tilson. It's got a brand new CVT, chain, sprocket. It's everything brand new, like AMG battery on it. There's the AGM battery. But have a Honda Odyssey roller ready for a big block. Sitting outside, I would love to get rid of that thing. I'm tired of looking at it. It was a bad customer project. Customer was a jerk and backed out of it, and I trusted him for some reason. Normally, I make people pay 50% of a build up front and all of parts up front, no questions asked. And this guy, he knew some people I knew, so I let him not do that. He did end up buying the Bashan from me, and that's why he backed out of it. But I'd already spent all this time and stuff in it, and it's no one wants, like, more people would want the two-stroke on it. So it's really worth more money the way it was, but he wanted it like this. So it's been
Living
sitting
the-
outside forever. Randall Dickerson, love the content. It's funny last name. I had to laugh. I chuckled a little bit. But thank you for your donation, and we appreciate it, man. Again, thank you for everybody that's donated. They help out a ton. And if you want to donate, the super chat button's there in your chat, and it does help us to make sure you get your question answered. We're not telling you have to, but if you want to, that's what we're doing when we say donations. So New Age Build said top 3 builds. Of course, my buggy was a really good one. I mean, that's my favorite build. I had a lot of fun with this Argo, honestly. It went fast. Nothing was a pain on it at all. It just, everything went good. So, and it's hard because I would have to sit here for a few and think of everything I've done. I can't, the twin engine was fun because I got to learn a lot. That's where most of the channel's learning happened. Honest to goodness, we owe everything to the twin engine because I learned about front end geometry. I learned about how to build a rocate, like how to build a chassis from scratch. That was the first time I ever did it. And I did have a lot of help from my brother Brandon. He helped me through that. And he hadn't really built nothing like that, to be honest. He's a really good fabricator, but he hasn't never really built like a chassis for anything like that. So we was both learning, and we worked well together. It's just Brandon has a job and a family, and he tries to work 17 other jobs, and he was just getting too tired. And I didn't want us to be the blame for adding to it, contributing to his overworking. So that's the only reason you don't see my brother on here anymore. And he lives, what is it, like 25-30 minute drive? It feels like 2 days. He lives way up in the mountains. Thank you, Mark Constantio. Thank you for your donation. Listen, I'm an idiot. I can barely read the Stupid Bikes. Thank you again for your donations. I can't find anything on the Bashan 50cc. It looks like a Laser 5. Looks like the Laser 5 I've been working on. Very touchy, and it seems like a ghost online. A lot of that type stuff is one-off Chinese stuff. Like it, they're just getting some random vehicle built in China, slapping their name on it and bringing it out. They never intend on. That's why I say stay away from certain companies. Like Econ seems like they're a really good Chinese company. Trailmaster is really good. Go Power Sports is the main distributor for Trailmaster. So if you buy a Trailmaster, it went through Go Power Sports hands. My beard's all jacked up. But the best thing about that is the fact that, like, the Bashan isn't a big brand. Like, they're trying to make it a big brand, but what makes something a big brand is when they give you ways to buy replacement parts. That's where a bunch of companies, Nate donated $1. You can't hide.
A unicorn.
Oh, and a unicorn. You can't hide Dogecoin money. You know what I'm saying? Nate Kilgore's trying to become Rockefeller with a Dogecoin. He's really doubled his money this week. I would keep telling him, just sell it. Because I want it to skyrocket after he sells, so he's still as broke as me at the end of the day. You know, you don't want your friends passing you up, you know. Ian, thank you so much for your donation. Make sure if you donate, you at least put a unicorn emoji or something. Comment if you can. Yeah, thank you, Ian, and everybody else that's donated. Little Red is not still around. We sold that to a kid with no engine. I think it was just as a roller. We do have Braxton's Little Red, and it's going to be for sale soon. We need to get in here and slap an engine on it and get that thing out here. I'm telling you guys, it is the best feeling in the world getting rid of stuff. Man, it's making my life so much better.
Stuff makes stress, not happiness.
Let me guess, Braxton's cleaning his room. Spawn of doofus. Braxton is probably at home. He's on quarantine this week. Someone that sat in front of him at lunch got the old COVID, the old regular flu, and he got out. I think he goes back Friday, but he came over today, hung out. We ain't scared of it. He went on a date. Braxton went on a date. He's got a little girlfriend.
His girl's in quarantine too.
But yeah, his girlfriend's in quarantine, so he's not spreading it. He don't have it. Acquired thank you, William Broom, Broome, Broom. Thank you for your donation. Acquired a 9-foot mini chopper, Tilson incoming. Good gosh, that's that's large. It's a big daddy. So that's pretty cool. Ooh, I got the name right. William Broom. But how much is a Manco Dingo worth? I would say not fully restored, just good and running, $500. That's what it'd be worth around here. I don't know if you get it around here, but what?
Scroll down, you're missing the real questions.
Well, tell me what they are. Oh, Jane said we're both huge fans of your channel here in Florida. Well, I appreciate it. We go to Florida quite often for vacation. So keep an eye out for a fat redheaded guy that's way too white to be in Florida. Odyssey rollers, probably like 500 because it has new live axle, new sprocket, rotors, got a new brake caliper on it. It's got new engine plate. It just needs a few little tweaks. There's a few things that needs to be done, in my opinion, before I would ride it. Like slap an engine on it and ride it. But $500 for a roller, that's what the live axle and wheels are worth. So I would love to sell that thing. Will you make a go-kart from scratch for a customer? Not right now. We have too much stuff going on. We got to get this freaking four-wheel drive
Do
buggy
you have
done. Ain't got to work on it.
extra valve keeper
Do I have an extra valve
for
keeper?
A301?
No, I do not. There is a few websites out there. If you can message me on Instagram, I will be more likely to find it. I'm not promising nothing. It's hard. It's very hard to keep up with the messages, and we apologize for that. Stupid Box, thank you again for a donation. The best way to line up a direct chain when bolting down a 212, I keep throwing mine whenever I build, and I have to adjust more than twice. Well, back in the day, we thought we wasn't adjusting our chains, and we kept kicking chains. Every project kicked the chain. And that was back in the day when Go Power Sports had 1/8 thick engine plates. And with fat boys like me, a lot of weight on a small car, it was twisting that engine plate. And when it would twist it, the sprocket would go like this on the engine, of course, because the engine's twisting it. It would kick the chain. Every build about did that. We found out what the problem was I was watching, I think Brandon, my brother Brandon, ride a go-kart around the yard, and I saw it kick the chain, and I noticed that engine plate flexing. So we got on the horn with Go Power Sports and said, you got to stop making these out of 1/8 inch. You have to go up to quarter. It's going to be a good investment. And I don't even think they went up none on their prices either. I'm pretty sure their engine plates stayed the same exact price when they did that. But we do not have that problem no more. Just make sure your engine plate's beefy and line it up. We eyeball align everything. So that's the only thing I can really tell you.
If it continues.
Huh?
It breaks it up too. If it
Yeah, and we braced them up. Skittles would kick the chain really bad because they had it had a thick engine plate, but the way it was mounted on the cart originally was really bad about flexing. So we did some braces on it and fixed that problem. So make sure it's lined up just by eyeballing it. Always just look down it the best you can. Some carts are harder than others. Kamal, McCary, pull start. Thank you for your donation. Pull start is hard to pull. I have the valve lash set. Make sure you don't have your valve. Make sure you don't have your valve lash set on the compression release. So when you pull the engine over, you're going to notice the exhaust valve opens, the intake valve will open after that, and then the exhaust valve will crack open just a little bit, and that's a compression release. It's a little mechanism on the cam that releases the compression to make it easier to pull, and you don't get that kickback. So maybe that's what your issue is. Maybe you set the valve lash thinking you had it at top dead center. One thing you do is stick a screwdriver or something down the spark plug hole and pull the engine over slowly until you physically feel that piston, the very highest point, and make sure both of those valves are closed all the way, and then reset it. Make sure that'd be the best thing to tell you, honestly.
What's an affordable welder?
Pepsi Mango, they're pretty good. Oh my
Not
gosh, I
sponsored.
spilled it. Not sponsored. Best affordable welder, hands down, is those Prime welders. I'm telling you, I would call this a professional shop. But those, I love them. I'm telling you, for the price point, I think they are great machines. I would tell you to buy that over anything from Harbor Freight, anything online. I sold my Everlast because I love those welders so much. And that was a $1,500 welder. And For the same price as that $1,500 welder, you can buy a standalone TIG and a MIG from Prime Weld and be able to do anything. That welder I had wouldn't do aluminum, and that drove me crazy. And I've already welded a few things aluminum. Actually, Bikes and Beard bought an engine from us, and we just sold it to him for the parts price. We didn't charge him any labor on it or anything because he's going to be using his video. And I did some welding. I made a custom intake because it has a V-band Mikuni on it that we made. It's pretty cool. Someone said, greetings from the Philippines. How's it going? Someone said stock 212 Predator did 62 mile per hour. Is this possible? Anything is possible with gearing ratio. Nate Kilgore faking $500. Oh no, he's telling Ken $500 for the roller. I thought Nate was trying to act like he donated $500 of that Doge money, and he didn't. Is it Doge? I think it's Doge.
I want you to explain the gearing.
Oh, so someone
Because I've seen
said
it a few
the
times this week.
will the go-kart rear end turn 6 to 8K and survive? I think so. What's going to kill that reverse gearbox is not RPMs. It's going to be torque is what's going to kill it. Give him a week and I can get it for $250. Possibly. I don't know. If that son of a gun sits there, it's going to be scrap metal. Okay, so says the person that was asking if it's possible for a stock 212 to hit 62 mile per hour. Yes, no, I shouldn't say. Yes, it is. You can have gearing ratio and you can get 500 mile per hour out of a stock Predator. When I say stock Predator, I mean taking it right out of the box, putting oil and gas in it and starting it. But you're never going to take that thing off. You're going to have a straight downhill. It's going to be so high geared. So, that's a big old horsefly.
There's two of them.
We got a
They're
couple.
Waspers.
Ooh, that's a hornet. Sorry, guys. Those are big hornets. So anyways, keep your eyes peeled. These hornets are like freaking doves flying around in here. I don't like you. So gearing ratio, you could have, 20-inch tires and you could have a 6-to-1 gearing ratio. And depending on your RPMs you turn, you could get this set amount of miles per hour. There's a calculator online. Type it on Google. Oh my gosh, it's getting low. Type it on Google, go-kart gearing ratio, and type in your tire size.
Here.
I gotta get something to smack it.
Well, I was giving you my shoe, my sweaty shoe.
What you got? No, I ain't doing the shoe. This freaking thing is massive.
There's two of them.
Sorry, if anybody super chats, I'll read them in a
There are.
second.
Beasley, 1959, said Shriner riding a trike, 212cc, going to a 27-pound valve spring. Do I need to upgrade the flywheel?
Yes. And why are you going with such heavy valve springs? My main question.
Beasley, why are you going with such heavy valve springs?
This is pretty flimsy. I'm gonna try it. We got these massive hornets in here. Never have seen them before. The son of a gun just popped their little
I
yellow
don't
head.
think that's going to kill anything.
Becca, I could kill you with this thing.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't. Could though. Oh, it's so huge.
Use a torch. I'll burn this place to the ground.
Use some brake cleaner and lighter. I just want him to swoop down. He's right above me. Oh, it's hard to look up at these lights. Come on, guy. What, you gonna talk all that smack in my face and then not come back?
If I put a 22 Mikuni carb on a
Okay.
212, well, I need to remove the governor.
No, yes, because the governor is working the throttle mechanism. Thank you, Beasley 1959, for your donation. Stupid Bikes, the best advice for wiring an LED onto a frame without any coils. You can buy a drill battery adapter for whatever drill you have, and you can do it like that. You can just run a drill battery to a light and then pull the drill battery off to charge it. We actually have a Milwaukee one over there for a 12-volt setup, like an M12 battery. That's how we're going to run headlights on mini bikes and stuff.
Would you recommend building the stock motor on an MB200 or swap it with a Predator Tilts and then building that?
I would swap it with a Predator Tiltson. So Dustin, thank you again. Get a hat, use the pincher maneuver with Becca. Get you an EpiPen. Oh yeah, did you say you was allergic? Oh, Becca is allergic. I'm not allergic. They hurt, and I don't want to be stung by one. You need to keep your eyes peeled, woman, for these bees. Like, I don't know, they wasn't in here. They had to come in through a crack. I don't know. Wouldn't that suck if we had like a hornet's nest in the attic? That'd be
I
where
wouldn't
we'd
put
burn
it
it.
past this place either.
How dare you? I love M12 everything. Was told my stage 1 212 needs heavier springs to increase compression.
Oh, he was the one that said the Shriner thing.
It's not going to do nothing with compression, like the compression strength, but 27 is way, way too high. You're going to end up wearing out your cam, is what will happen. So if you do too hard of valve springs, it can wear out the lobes on your cam. It can bend your push rods, 27 especially. That's extreme. If you're just trying to get a little bit more power, do 18s if you have the governor removed. But do not do 27 unless the cam you're putting in it calls for that. Someone's saying they put a Go Power Sports CVT on a Coleman and it won't move anymore. Well, you did something wrong. I don't know why it won't move, but of
When
course.
he moves, the back won't move.
Oh, you got the belt on backwards. Make sure the flat side of the belt, one side's flat, one side's slanted. Flat side needs to be in towards the engine. So flip that belt around, you'll be good. That's what's wrong with it. So, those hornets are probably breeding in here. Does the stock 212 Predator have a pre-tapped hose for a charging coil and a battery setup? Yes, it does have pre-tapped holes. It should, anyways. What's the recommended max RPM for a stock GX390 without a governor? 3,600 RPM. I'm telling you, that 420 Hemi we bent the valves really fast in it by floating the valves. So I always say, do not run anything. Like a 212 handles it pretty good. I'm not telling you to do it, but I've ran a 212 hard on stock valve springs back when we had Little Red with the clutch on it and never been a valve. But I'm not telling you to do it because knowing my luck, you bend the valve and then you blame me. So, JM Kelly 51. Any insight on the? Oh, thank you for your donation. Any insight on the front brake setup for a Coleman swing arm bike for the Coleman? Oh, on mine, I'm guessing you're saying. I don't know if those forks would handle it. To be honest, I don't trust. Sorry, my allergies bugging me. My eyes itch like crazy. I don't trust those forks for strength. So I'm really kind of scared that they could collapse under the braking force of a front brake setup. That's the only thing that worries me. I know how I would build them. I've thought about it. I've even bought the parts before. They're sitting on the shelf to build a front brake setup. Go Power Sports does have a bunch of stuff coming out. They have a front brake setup coming for MB200, and they're supposed to make a bolt-on swing arm kit for a lot of mini bikes. It's a direct bolt-on, or you can weld it on, but they're giving you the option to bolt it up. Those will be coming out over the next few months. I can't understand what you're saying. Does the Tilson 212 really make 10 horsepower? I don't know. I don't have a dyno. I know they're good engines, but on 10 horsepower, I don't know. I'm not going to say they do or don't because I have no clue. I've never dynoed an engine, and though butt dyno, I mean, they don't feel like a ton stronger, nothing than a Tilson, but I know they are a better engine. They have a lot better valve train stock. They're just a really good engine. Where can I get swag? RBGcarts.com is sold out of everything with stickers. And we're trying to fix that. We're waiting on this new logo to come out. Then we're going to order shirts and stuff.
We promise
and
this time
hats.
too.
We promise by summertime-ish, we'll have
Hopefully June.
we're going to have like a big revamp. And I may get a company where we drop ship them. You know, like that's what I'd like to set up. So we're not spending the money on buying the stuff because realistically, we'd have to spend like $5 to $8 grand probably to fully stock like we would love to have it stocked. And And hats sell really good. It's hard to have $5,000 sitting around to spend it. But I know everybody's been asking us for stuff for a long time, and we need to get it. So we're trying our best.
And
We're
we
waiting on a new
appreciate
logo.
the support.
We appreciate the support. Support us by buying stickers, donating on Super Chat. But if swag, we got the stickers right now. We got an awesome logo. We got a few logos coming out, and we're gonna make new shirts and revamp everything.
We're
So
working with a graphic artist.
we're working with a graphics artist right now, and he should be sending us the vector file any day now. So we're pretty pumped about that. Should I turbo my cheap Chinese four-wheeler? No. I would spend the money. There's a way more places to spend money that you'd make real power. Cams, headwork, stuff like that. Turbos on a single cylinder is just, you're never going to get the spool and flow enough air through a single valve. I mean, that's my honest opinion on it.
How do I get a brook belt out of a crankshaft?
Out of the crankshaft.
That's what it says.
Someone said, how do you get a broke belt out of a crankshaft? And, ooh, he smacked his face on the wall. Should we open that garage door, son?
No, it's cold outside.
Okay. We'll get stung by a hornet then. Hey, idiot, you're running to the garage door. Someone's asking how do you get a belt out of a crankshaft. I'm guessing your pulley ate up the belt, pull it out. I mean, honestly, that's really the only thing I can think of. Is there a swing arm kit for the Mega Moto 212? I don't think so. No one makes them. And we would love to, but you gotta realize we're working with sponsors and stuff. So we're using like Go Power Sports parts. It would be like me trying to make my own weld table and sell them, and then Quantum hooking us up with this weld table. Yeah, Nate said every $10 donated tonight will get a sticker pack mail with Greg's spit on the stamp. You can frame that stamp, baby. It'll be worth nothing. Never. But so we always have to worry about, like, Go Power Sports is trying to come out with swing, like they already got the prototypes out there. So we can't go build stuff that would take away sales from them because that ain't working with the sponsors. Just like, we're doing a deal right now, hopefully with Holly, or if they send us a carb, I can't put that carb on the Edelbrock intake. That would be stupid, or make a part. What was you gonna say? Just gotta watch out for stuff.
Broke bolt out of the crankshaft.
Oh, that's a hard one. I would try welding to it. Very easy. That's a hard one for sure. $60 for a lock of his beard. Hey, I'm about to cut half his puppy off, so that'd be a good deal. Sell all my beard hair. I'm just bald tomorrow. You gotta think too, guys. My chin ends right here, so look at what I would look like with no beard.
What size tube do you use?
That's where
for
my
a
face
yard
ends.
cart?
Tube for a yard cart, 1 inch is perfectly fine. I don't know if Go Power Sports will make the clear valve covers for the 212 Tillotson. I would think they would because that was a hot seller. But I know it's like $10,000 or $15,000 just for the mold, and then that's not counting them actually getting it made. But we get this question all the time: how do you get sponsored by Go Power Sports? You have to sign a contract selling your soul. I'm just kidding. I always tell people, if you want to get sponsored, you got to make content before you can get sponsored. You can't get sponsors before you're making the content. So you got to go out there and bust your butt, spend every penny you can afford. I put myself in debt, plenty of times for this career to get to the next level. I mean, this garage is a testament to that. Actually, this garage is paid for now, guys, so that's pretty sick. Land isn't, but the garage is. That's awesome. That's a blessing from God himself, for sure. This whole property, this whole story of my life is a blessing from God. God has brought me to this position to be able to do this stuff, but back to the story. I've had to pour in a ton of money into this. I've maxed out credit cards back in the early days because I literally didn't have nothing to make videos on. So back when, in the early days, I'd have to go max out a credit card buying like remember I went and bought 3 Predator 212s, a bunch of parts and stuff. And this was right before Go Power Sports sponsored us, and I was spending all this money to make the content and making the content, and then I contacted Go Power Sports. I didn't say, hey, we want to make videos. Can you throw us some parts? Because how are they going to know you're actually going to do those videos, and are your videos going to be worth a flip, when you get done with them?
We're not suggesting for people to go into debt.
Yeah, and I'm not suggesting for people to go into debt, but I'm saying pour everything you got into it if you're really passionate about it and think this is what you want to do, because Don't half-A it, you know. You can't half-A a bunch of stuff and get results out of it. You got to go full A in one thing and make it happen. Say I was wiring cars on the side and stuff when I started this. I quit all that and I poured everything into YouTube. I mean, I sacrificed time with my family, and Becca would have to come out in the garage pretty much to hang out with me. Like, and she came part of this to have more time with me. Now it's not the case. Now I don't want to be.
How rude.
Now, you know, she's out here just because she wants to be, because now I have a normal, pretty much a normal schedule. I'm working from 8 to 5-ish. Some that, like this week I'm working later because we're going to be in North Carolina on Friday. But, you know, thank you, Kamal, was it? Kamal McCrary. I'm an idiot, sorry. I really appreciate the kind words. Everybody that's normally in live streams is normally the OGs, the people that really are rooting for you. Lansdowne Family Racing, he owns his own business, and he's about to quit his career. And I think he said once he quits, he can never go back. He ain't quitting on bad terms, nothing, you know, he ain't kicking over the boss's desk and saying, you know, take this job and shove it or anything. But he said, do what you do best and hire the rest. Never give up on your dreams. Never let anyone tell you you can't do it. And that do be true, though.
Big Red said you've done a killer job. Watched your 10.5 year videos.
Thank you, Big Red. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Big Red, for your kind words. For sure. Kane, I've seen you in here plenty of times. I noticed a bunch of names. I forget a bunch of names, but I noticed a bunch of names. I can't believe Pogo Stick Nick. That touches my heart, Pogo Stick Nick. Touches it right with the end of your Pogo Stick. I haven't heard from him forever.
Andrew said, watching this on a KFC ice cream machine.
KFC ice cream machine. What?
He's at work.
Oh, he's got his phone propped up. I was like, he was literally watching on the ice cream machine. He's like, what KFCs are you at? But yeah, so this has been the most rewarding, but the hardest career I've ever had. There was times, I've learned from, you know, you grow and learn there's spider webs on our security cameras outside, and sometimes it catches my eye and, you know, makes me think there's a monster out there. Kane, thank you for your donation. We really appreciate it. He gave us a big old fat red thumbs up. There's times where like commenters would get, you know, that sometimes their words can cut to the bone. And, but I learned how many years ago, 3 years ago, not to let that crap get to you no more. Like, it's stupid. And I see a lot of other YouTubers, and I'm not going to mention any names, but getting upset and getting caught up in comments, and you cannot let that affect you. You just gotta, half these people telling you how to do stuff, telling you what you're doing wrong, calling you an idiot, is never and will never do half the things that like I'm doing on my channel. They're not like wasting money learning how to not do something and then being able to teach you guys not to waste your money, and this is how you do it. They're just going to sit and talk crap because their pathetic lives, you know, they're unhappy with it, and they want to put you down and get you down to their level, and you just can't let them do that. You know, you got to flex on them haters. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Who said that? Drake, I think it is. Razor Claw. Bro, I still rock the shirt I got from you 2 years ago. Well, son again. I hope it's still holding in there. Hey, I'm telling you, this is the only thing I wear. Grayson the other day was like,
why do you wear the same thing every day?
Yeah, he was like, why do you wear the same thing every day? And I was like, I wonder if a lot of people think that. It's like, this guy ever wash his clothes?
You have them all in rotation.
So, Chris Frost, so he said, love your content, even though we had a misunderstanding, I'll still watch every video. I never got to tell my side to that to Chris. So we had planned on sending, I'm not going to go into the story, everybody don't even know it, but I was going to send out a ported and milled head. We was waiting on Lansdowne, normally when I send Lansdowne heads, and Lansdowne Family Racing is in the chat, I think Lansdowne, I sent you like 10 heads to do, like a bunch of 212s, a bunch of big blocks, and we was going to send you a ported and milled head. The things we had sent you was just randoms. Like, I was pretty upset with the whole thing too, but I'm glad you're still sticking around, and, you know, we're sorry that whole thing went sour, that whole deal. But there was a lot more stuff that was supposed to come to you. I gave away a two-stroke bike engine that's sitting over on that weld table. Completely forgot about it, but I have a box. I'm gonna stick that in tonight and get it shipped out. We don't mean to do that. It's just we get sidetracked 1,000 times. And stuff is harder now at this property because we don't have internet. Like, we have our phones, of course, but working on my desktop in there and stuff is way harder without internet, because I'll be like, oh, I need this graphic real quick. I want to put in the video or a meme or something. Then I'm like, son of a gun. Then I'm tethering my phone. If I'm out of data, like out of my Wi-Fi tethering, because we only get 15 gigs per month, it's such a pain. Stuff feels like it takes way longer here, doesn't it not? Like, we're more disconnected from society, which I like. But, so moving on. So JD's projects with a Z. Thank you for your donation. What projects do you recommend for a low budget? Yard carts, mini bikes. I'm telling you, mini bikes are the funnest time we have in this garage, like, because they're always easy, stress free. Oh, you guys haven't even seen this one. Let me turn this. There's a pretty sweet little mini bike. We're going to be doing a giveaway, and that's fueled by merch, and because we're trying to bring in different revenue for the garage. So we're going to be doing a giveaway, like every so much merch bought will enter you to win that mini bike. So look out for that. It's going to be powder coated. It's going to be sick when we get done with it. So stay tuned for that. But mini bikes and yard carts, and don't sink, yeah, like Miss Redbeard said, don't sink a lot of money into it. Depending on your area, you might be able to sell them, but it's hard around here. We don't half the time even try to sell nothing. I usually let a bunch of stuff build up so you can sell a bunch at one time and get a bigger return back. So Beasley 1959, thank you for your donation. Lighter tension valve springs, 18 pounds or so, I understand. Still upgrade the 212cc flywheel, yes. 18 pound, if you're stock cam, just run 18 pounds if you're running no governor. If you got a governor, don't mess with the valve springs. There's no need to. No governor, go to 18-pound springs, and if you're taking the governor off, always do the flywheel. They can bust on you, and when they bust, they'll kill you. There's actually been people lose their lives to flywheel busting on these small engines. So, don't cheap out, especially you got kids and stuff, it's not worth losing your leg over a mini bike or something. Drake said, by the way, I finally got my hands on a cam and some rods, so I'm going to make you that cross this week. I hope. Well, we appreciate it. I love garage art in here. I can't remember his name, the guy made us a face logo. Coolest freaking thing. So pumped to get it. But I don't know if the post office did it twice, but I know once they've sent it back to him. And he spent like $40 to ship that thing. Mm-hmm. So now I got to find out a way to get this. I think he probably sent it through FedEx or something. And I want to pay the man back and more for making this awesome artwork for us. But it gets lost in the emails. We need to dig that out pretty soon. But yeah, you ever start working on GM engines on this channel, LS in particular? I would love to. We got to work up to that. We can't just jump into it. I want to slowly, like with the 79 Ford, we're working a deal with Holly right now, and that's going to be awesome. What's cool is Holly actually contacted us. That's always the best deals. When a company comes to you for something, that's always amazing. Like, we went to Quantum, worked out a deal real quick with them. That was an amazing, like, we're going to Quantum and hanging out with them this weekend, so that's awesome. But, like Go Power Sports, we went and found them because we was nobody back then. I don't know how many, 6,000 subscribers or something, maybe not even that much. I'd like to, I wish I could remember these things, like milestones of the channel, but I don't. We're about to hit 300,000 soon. We're growing by like 4,000 subscribers a month right now. And, Chris Frost. That's the first thing when Holly was like, hey, what are your projects and stuff? They asked what all we had, and we told them, gave them a breakdown of stuff. And I sent them like what parts we would love to have on it, because we don't know what their intentions are. Like, or you want to give us a discount? And we don't do that, by the way. If people's like, hey, I'll give you this carburetor for half off, and you do a video, I'm like, no, we don't want it. Because I'll go buy a used carburetor on Craigslist for $100, old Holly 650 or something. But that's the first thing I asked for, Chris, was a sniper EFI. I was like, that'd be sick.
Punk Cover Moose said, hey, just came in back from the garage, caught you live. I'm working on a double A-arm setup and use your vids a lot to help me. Thanks for your work.
Pump Cover Moose.
Punk.
Oh, Punk Cover Moose. We appreciate you using our videos to help you along. I hope I try to explain stuff as much as I can. And I know in the last year our videos has kind of went different, you know what I mean? And we don't mean for that. We just got crazy, crazy busy in the last year from moving in this garage, building this
We're always
garage.
busy.
Yeah, I think
Are we not
everybody's
busy?
been like cram busy. So it's slowly starting to level out. So stuff is going to start getting really good. Oh, we got a 3-cylinder Kubota diesel sitting over here. We got turbo sitting over there to put on it. We're building a diesel deuce with AA arm front suspension. That's going to be sick. I've been waiting on this for a while, and that's going to be awesome. But is land cheap in your county, like 10-acre lots? Land goes anywhere from 5,000 acre to $15,000
I'd
an
say
acre.
it's inflated now.
Probably, yeah. When we bought this place, I mean, I think it was like 7,500 an acre is what we paid, which I thought was a good deal. I mean, it was a good deal. It wasn't like it was cheap, but it was good price. You know, we didn't get this place for a steal or anything, but we bought it right in time because there's a lot of people after it. Someone said, Monkey Dude said, love your testimony video. Wanted to say thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. That was a hard video to make, and I've always wanted to go back and remake it because, you know, I wasn't as comfortable on camera and stuff. I could tell the story better and, you know, like come through even clearer for people. But it's one of those things I just leave alone. And I would like to do a kind of update to that, you know, in every few years update with a new testimony to tell what, because I've been through a lot since I gave my life to God. And I mean, I've been through ups and downs. And, but yeah, there's been a lot I could add to my testimony, you know, because your testimony's never done. I mean, you're always learning new things. You're going through trials and learning what God's trying to tell you through them. And it's been a crazy ride, but your boy JC's got my back, so we doing good.
What front end lift did you buy for the 670 lift dog?
Okay, so someone said what, say it again.
What front end lift?
What front end lift did we use on the 670 Yerf Dog? That was a Buggy Depot kit. I think Buggy Depot's still out there. I know they was trying to sell their company at one point. I'm a Baptist, by the way. Old dirty South Baptist. Old dirty Baptist. But that's the church I go to. I believe in Jesus Christ. That's what religion I am. I believe in the old Bible, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, that kit is okay. I wouldn't waste my money on it, to be honest, because you could build all that stuff in an afternoon's worth of time. Like the spindles, you might not be able to, depending on your skills, but everything else, you could. And real quick, I'm wondering where those hornets went, because I hear him. He's still moseying around here. There's 2 of them. Okay, sorry. Back to the live stream. I get sidetracked on them hornets. But yeah, so that's what.
What advice do you have for new channels?
Oh yeah, I saw that a while ago. What advice for new channels? Any advice for a new startup channel? I was kind of touching on that earlier. I would pour everything you can into it, and I don't mean every penny that you have, but every penny you can afford to put towards it, do it. Like, don't spend money on stupid video games and stuff. Like, buy tools, buy stuff to make your job easier and faster and make you produce videos. For channels, my number one thing is good lighting and a decent camera. Most phones now you can do an amazing YouTube video off of. If you want better audio, go the cheap route at first. Use your phone to record and record your audio at the same time, and make sure you clap really loud to sync up the audios in your editor. That's what those little clackers are that they use on movies. That's to put a huge spike in the audio so they can line up all the audios. But if you got a decent phone, start with your phone. Don't waste money on a camera if you have a good enough phone. But quality, in my opinion, is just as important and consistency quality is just as important. I'm watching for these Hornets, as the content, honestly, because if you're watching something that was filmed on a freaking Russian potato, ain't nobody gonna want to watch it. And lighting is your best friend. There is no excuse not to have a lit up shed, basement, whatever. The lights are so cheap. You could spend $200, and I know it's a lot of money to a lot of people, but lighting is your number one friend. You can have a decent camera and make it look 10 times better with better lighting. I've said that from day one. My garage used to be dark. Like I had a few just regular LED bulbs in the little light fixtures, and then I bought LED fixtures. And the more money, as I grew to making more money at it, I grew, and that's why we put 250,000 lumens in here. I mean, look how amazing that bald head looks. And that's why it is important to do lights. So buy you a cheap Amazon tripod. Those are the best bang for the buck. They're like $15-20, and just start busting hiney at it. Don't get lazy with your content too. Don't rush a video out. These people aren't sitting here like, when does John put that video out? Maybe John Carr's cameras they are, but when you're starting, put effort into it. Make sure it's perfect. If you have to go back out at 10 o'clock at night and refilm a little part that you didn't explain well, go back and do it. It's worth to put the time into it. I find myself sometimes getting back in, like today, when I did this pulse pump that you'll see in the video tomorrow or the next day. Normally I'd have been like, I'm not going to go back and explain that. I explained it good enough, but I was like, well, that's me being lazy. I need to get out there, get a carb out, show them why I'm doing this little pulse pump fix, because that's what these people are here to be entertained and to learn whatever they can. Big Red, thank you for your donation. Ever make guest appearances or attend off-road / Gambler 500 events? Any plans to? Would be awesome to see you guys out there. Sending my gratitude for all the videos and entertainment from Cali. And thank you for your donation, Big Red. We really appreciate it. We was invited to, what was the Gambler mini bike? Was it
Oregon?
I know, but what was the title of it? What's the 500?
Gambler 500. Okay,
so Go Power Sports invited us to that, and we told them no. They got a little mad. But, they didn't get mad, like, curse you, but they didn't like it. But we had our own meetup going. Not stuff on the other side of the country. I don't see us going to in the near future. We have a lot of stuff going on here. And listen, when I leave town, even if it's for one day, we have security. We're basically paying someone to do security on the place. We've never had a problem, but we have cameras. We have a neighbor that's a retired cop and keeps guns everywhere. He comes and does all this like tactics around our property to make sure people hasn't been on it. Our neighbor is an awesome guy across the road. He has a camera pointing right at our driveway that's hooked up to his phone. He knows every vehicle. So I basically tell them what vehicles should be pulling in. Like I'll have Braxton come over here and do something. Because several people in this town have keys to my shop. The people I really trust. And they'll come and do rounds and walk in. So it's crazy when I leave town, I have to strap down. But so going to California, that'd be a hard one to do, leaving all my stuff. I love my stuff. So probably not that far is basically what I'm saying. Maybe in the long run. Thank you. Long name. Messiah Squad. Hit Z Messiah Squad. Thank you for your donation. Wish you would ask a question. But you're welcome to come to the Tomb Texas Outlaw mini bike, by the way. Beach ride in August. We would love to have you. That would be pretty cool. A beach ride on a bunch of mini bikes? Shoot, that'd be awesome. When we met the Tomb guys 3 years ago, that was a good time. We loved all them guys. Cool. Yeah, super cool guys. We love the Tomb dudes. So yeah, send us an email, greg@rbgcarts.com. We put that in there. And we would love to see if we can make that work. Drake. Okay, someone real quick. Christian, is a heavy-duty blower housing good? Oh, you're talking. Okay, I was like, what is this guy asking? I saw you ask it a while ago, and I'm thinking like a blower for like a leaf blower or something. I'm like, what is this dude asking? But so Go Power Sports came out with a heavy-duty blower cover, heavy-duty fan cover for the flywheel. I call them a flywheel cover. That's the easy thing that people knows what they're called. I guess so. I mean, I don't see the need, like, I mean, it's thicker metal. It's not going to dent as easy. And I guess
probably
if
just
something
looks
was
stock.
happen, no, it looks stock.
Oh.
If something was to happen, like even a fin break off your flywheel, you never can tell. Gravel could work its way in your fan shroud, and that could protect you even more than the thinner stock one. So, I mean, if you need to replace one, I would say replace it with a heavy duty. I would, just because it's thicker, better quality, and especially if it's something you're going to keep. I did see someone asking about grind hard plumbings if we liked or what did we think of Grind Hard Plumbing. I think they do really, I mean, they do really amazing camera work. They're definitely beating us in every way. Uh, but I think their content, I haven't watched their videos in the last couple months. There's a hornet up there, and I don't see them dealing with hornets. So you answer your own question. But Grind Hard guys seem pretty cool. I have the dude's Ethan's number. And we reached out like a year ago and left him a voicemail. Like we got permission from Ethan to have his number from a friend of Ethan's, like a mutual friend. But I don't think that would ever be a collaboration thing because they're way. I think Chris from Rotherby Weldon said that was a 25-hour drive. Driving was 25 hours, and I don't want to haul nothing 25 hours because you're risking a lot on a collaboration video. Like, will it grow? Will it not? Every collaboration video I've ever done would never has helped my channel. Cars and Cameras, Rotherby Weldon, Quad Racers, none of them help my channel whatsoever. And the same thing can be said from the other guys. Cletus and them, they're seeing it because these guys are huge and they're doing like all kind of the same thing and stuff, but which I guess we are too. But I'm really hoping this Finnegan thing pays off because we sank a lot of time and money in this Argo to do a trade on a vehicle I'm basically going to sell for $3,000. This Argo to me is worth more than $3,000, but I'm more than happy. Even if I don't get growth from it, it's still cool to be able to meet someone that made it huge in the industry and just get insights from him, get to know him, take advantage of it. No, it's just cool to be able to do that, in my opinion. So hopefully it pays off well. I'm really hoping so, but you never can tell with those things.
Bob Griffin, is that where
Yeah.
you're
Bob Griffin, thank you for your donation. Thinking of starting a mini bike and go-kart revival channel. You think a channel like that would draw interest? I think it would. I don't think. So go-karts and mini bikes go up and down just like anything. Like people are big into Hondas in 2000. They're starting to slowly go back into Hondas and then it'll die off. They'll get big. It goes back and forth. I think it would. I don't think you would grow massively successful at it quick just doing revivals, but I think there's good content in that. People want to see you do something dumb and risk your life or put something that's like, no offense to Grind Hard Plumbing whatsoever, but they're doing like a 500 horsepower electric tank right now out of a tiny kid's tank using like these electric motors and stuff. That to me is just absolutely stupid. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to build that because, for one, you're never, ever going to see 80% of that power. You're just not. You're not going to be able to put your foot down all the way
Well, they're
without.
smart guys. They know that.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it for the content.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but because people's going to be like, oh my gosh, a 500 horsepower power wheel, you're never going to see them slam 500 horsepower to the ground on that thing. But, that's why we don't do crazy, stupid builds, because I try to sell my stuff when I'm done with it. I don't want to keep all this stuff. Send it. Thank you for your donation. We've seen him in here 1,000 times, so thank you for supporting us. The Windrock video and the Diesel Deuce, love the videos. We'll be taking that Diesel Deuce and Windrock for sure. We're starting that thing now. So, the valve springs make your 212 go faster. Not necessarily, but it helps you rev it higher. Finnegan is supposed to take me out in this twin turbo jet boat. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, so my mom is actually wanting the Suburban really bad. So she's going to end up, she'll be hauling her horde of kids around in an old school Suburban, which I think is awesome. I would rather that Suburban go to something like that than get drove once a year here, to be honest. If that Hornet lands on your heads, I'll donate $100. I'll catch that Hornet later. A little swollen pump knot ain't nothing for $100. I'm teaching my kids well because, like, if I don't know, Aubrey's really good at like dares. Like you eat that cheese that just fell on the ground, I'll give you $1. She's like, shoot, I'll do it. And Becca's always yelling at us because we're doing dumb stuff for stupid low amounts of money. It's like good stuff. Would you do a Mikuni or jet and stage 1 a 212? You still want to do a 212 exhaust. Either way, you're going to have to do an exhaust, but a Mikuni's way better in every way.
Find that, it's Messiah's squad. He put his question,
Okay, I meant to add the question to my donation, but my mini trike build has a tiny front tire and it won't steer unless I sit real close to the forks. What can I do to fix this? Well, that's probably a weight distribution and surface area, the fork angle. I would say that's the main, probably the weight factor. If you're sitting way back on the back tire, then of course, it's like the tandem mini bike. Lonnie about wrecks it in the video coming out on Friday, should be out Friday. He almost wrecks it because the freaking thing's so long. And when no one's on the back and has weight on the back tire, that back tire just likes to fishtail and spin. So Lonnie got crazy sideways, like back to back 3 times in the woods. And that's because he has no weight back there. I would think it's a weight distribution problem. And how you could fix it is move your seat. Really, that's the biggest thing, that there's not going to be, in my opinion, not a way to fix it unless you get more weight on that front end, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Cool. Colin. Thank you, Rylan. Ray is beast. Thank you for your kind words, man. We appreciate it. Kane, we thank you also for your kind words. Everybody for your kind words. You should do a Power Wheels build with 4-wheeler engine. We won't be touching on the Power Wheels. Everybody's kind of flooding with that now, and some people's doing a really good job of them too. Like, no, I'm not talking about YouTube people. There's a guy we follow on Instagram.
He's been doing them forever before.
Guy with the Jeep.
Somebody was
I don't know,
doing
but
it before Groundhog.
there's some good ones out there. I just don't really care about it. Like when Chris had his over, of course Chris built his for him. I couldn't get in that thing. I can't fit in it. So it'd be even harder for gravy bones to fit in a Power Wheel, but I'm just not really interested in it. Again, we want to sell stuff. Sorry, I meant to say, are you going to do a Windrock?
Video.
No, meet up. I'm guessing he's asking. We need to.
We need to do something.
Yeah, Ray's B said he's seen the guy on Instagram too. He doesn't do YouTube at all. He just does it and posts a picture on Instagram. He's not doing it for the fame. He's doing it for the fun. But yes, one guy we've met and became good friends with over this whole YouTube stuff said one time he was going to come and help me work on my lathe, and he was like, I ain't in it for the fame and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not either. Like that's the worst part about YouTube is people seeing you as famous. Which, if you ever see me out in public, feel free to come up, ask for a picture. I don't care. You can. I mean, we're normal people. We want you to come up and say, don't be nervous. We're regular people. We're the same exact person you see on video. There's nothing different. If I'm in the worst mood in the world, me and Miss Redbeard could be having the worst marital. We don't have marital fights, but because I win them automatically. But even if we was having the worst fight or I was super angry at something, and anybody comes up to me, all that gets shut off. Like you don't push your anger towards someone else or treat someone else like crap because your day's going bad. You treat them like you're the most uppity person you've ever met in your life because that's what you do, And there's a couple people in my family, not naming no names, that they're in a bad mood. You might as well they should go to bed, and they don't. They just go out in the world and let everybody know they're mad. It's just like, good gosh, man. So I don't know. Oh, he meant the September video. I never. Oh, okay. I never did the Windrock video because I just didn't find it interesting. It wasn't that fun of a video to watch. Should throw it together. I mean, sure there's 10 or 15,000 people that want to watch it, but it's hard for me to put out something I wouldn't watch myself. Yeah. Is that slimy elbow? I was talking about that engine earlier. It is literally sitting right there. I will put it in a PB blaster box and ship that out in the morning. We got to do that. Please remind me to do that. Text me to do that real quick. Someone said, did you get your tattoos before or after the testimony video? I got this tattoo 13 years ago. It'd have been about 12 years ago, but this is the only tattoo I got. I forget I have it. honestly. Like, honestly, the only time I remember I have this tattoo is when I'm doing live streams because I can see myself and I put my arms up. And when I get out of the shower, I'll send you guys pics. But I forget I have it. I've had it since my daughter was born. Do you wish you didn't? No, I mean, I guess I like it. It's a tribal Jesus fish. I didn't, you know, it was because my daughter was born and I got saved, but I didn't really get saved. I didn't really know the importance of getting saved and everything. So my real walk with Jesus started, 5 years ago now? How, 6 years maybe? It might be, because I felt like I've said 5 years for 5 years, So that's when my real walk with Jesus started. When I changed my life, I devoted my life to Jesus, and I fail all the time. But yeah, I don't really care. It's a tattoo. I won't get another one. I would like to freshen this puppy up one day. Mm-hmm. It's like crusty around the edges, like it wasn't lined up really good. It looks gray now. And but yeah, I would like to touch it up for sure. Maybe put the fish on like a little mini bike or something. But we have a cool logo. I can't wait to show you guys our new logo. I like it a lot. Miss Raver don't like it, but she don't have to.
People have asked for it though, so.
Yeah, and we have a Rat Fink style face logo. I need to pay the woman, get her to mail me the graphic so we can flip it into a digital and get stickers and stuff made of it. It's pretty cool. So that's, Becca hates it. She hates the Rat Fink one.
I don't like either of these logos.
Yeah, but guess what? It ain't yours to like.
How do I figure out the distance between the arms and angle I should
have? So Chris B said, "How do I find out the distance between the arms and the angle I should have?" If you're talking about, so I'm going to explain a couple things. If you're talking about upper and lower A arm, it doesn't matter. It's just how do you want your spindle. So, I mean, just a rule of thumb, go like 4 to 6 inches separating upper from lower, because that's going to give you a decent sized spindle. You don't want a tiny spindle, but you don't want a massively big spindle. Also, width like this, like how wide the actual A arm is, that doesn't matter either, to be honest. But I always like to go, again, I'm just guessing on measurements. They don't have to be huge, but go like off of a four-wheeler. Look at four-wheeler. That's the best way. If you're doing a small go-kart, copy a four-wheeler. Our junkyards around here has some four-wheelers you can just buy and take the front end off of them. That'd be the best thing to do. But angle, at least do like a 10-degree angle on them. Angle them back 10 degrees, so when they hit a bump, they're naturally going back, because I've explained in the video, if you got a log right here and you're hitting it with your suspension, if you have A-arms that just go straight up, those A-arms, it's going to want to push the tire back before pushing it up and over. So you're putting stress points on your buggy that don't have to be there. So if you angle them back, I think I did 10 or 15 degrees on my buggy. I did 10 or 15 degrees on this. I kind of wish I'd have went a little bit, but you can see the angle right there. I mean, they're pretty drastic. But all that is for is just, it's taking less impact off of your A-arm mounts and stuff. Hope I answered that question. Good, right there.
Someone said he paid someone to build it mostly.
I don't know. Someone's saying he paid someone to build it mostly, and I don't know what he's talking about. So, no problem, Chris. I hope I answered your video. Someone's saying God gave him the sweat to build that garage. Haha. I don't know. What?
Nothing.
Oh. Someone said, Jimmy says, it's good you have faith, but you need to give yourself credit for achieving what you have. God didn't give you the garage. You built it in your own sweat. I say false, because I've worked hard my whole entire life. I remember I've told my kids this story 1,000 times. I mean, this is just one little story, but when I was in 4th grade, I saw everybody had Pokemon cards and loved Pokemon cards. Thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Still do. But when Grayson started playing with Pokemon cards, I supported him because that's what he liked. But thank Lord he ain't on that no more. But I saw kids wanting Pokemon cards. So there's some kids that had PlayStations, and I had a PlayStation 1, the old school original PlayStation. So I started trading my PlayStation games for Pokemon cards to sell them. Made money. I was selling my toys, trading my toys for them and stuff so I can make money. Fast forward, I've always been a hustler, and I've lived on my own since the month I turned 18. I've worked hard my whole entire life, and God opened doors that I could not open. And my wife is a testament to that. My mom's in this live stream. Maybe she might have done went to sleep. But I've worked hard my whole entire life. I've worked side jobs. I always made really good money on side jobs. I was making like $40 an hour doing side jobs back in the day, and I made a decent living, like 45,000 or 50,000 a year at Go Power Sports Jackie Jones Ford. But and for one, $50,000 isn't much money anymore. Nothing. I mean, I was barely raising a family of four, counting myself, on 50,000. I'm telling you, it was. I don't understand how we did it. Honestly, like looking back, how did we survive without being crazy in debt? Because we wasn't. We had maybe a couple $1,000s in credit card debt, and we had a nice house. I thought it wasn't huge, but it was nice. And I did side jobs and probably made another $20,000 a year in side jobs. It seemed like I would do some jobs and make $1,500 in 2 days. And it just never seemed like we got ahead anywhere. We never got anywheres in life. And then I started doing, then God came into my life. I didn't want God in my life when he came in. If you've watched my testimony, you know the story. But I didn't want God. I wasn't asking for him. I wasn't searching for him. I guess in a way I was searching for him, but I was trying to disprove God. So I would have arguments with Miss Redbeard. She's been a Christian her whole life, pretty much. So I would argue with her, trying to almost prove her wrong to get her to stumble. That's what a lot of non-Christians do, by the way. They try to sit there and make you stumble, or they try to find fault in what you're saying. So I always tell Christians, make sure you're prepared to go into battle. And you prepare by reading God's word and surrounding yourself by God's people, people living for God. But anyways, God opened doors that I wasn't able. I wouldn't have this garage if it wasn't for God. I know that for a fact because I worked so hard for so long. And yeah, I opened doors for myself, but the amount of doors God opened for me in such a short period of time, and if you don't believe it, it's perfectly fine because I lived it and I know what God did. I know I felt God. I've heard God talking to me before. I mean, it's crazy when you live it. I can never explain to you guys what I've experienced in this career. But I'm just telling you right now, God opened doors that I couldn't, for sure. So yes, this garage, I might have put my sweat and, effort into it and stuff, but God gave me the path that led to this garage, for sure. God opened all kinds of doors, and it was that's my journey. Like I said, some people is not going to believe it, but I don't ever take credit for nothing, honestly, like I'm telling you. But I'm not trying to beat you in the face with the Bible. You can watch my testimony video if you want to see it. I'm proud that I'm a Christian. I live for God, and I'm saved by Jesus Christ. But I'm not going to beat you in the face with the Bible and try to get you to convert, because all I can do is tell you my story. And if you want to know more, you can always email me or whatever, or find someone local, But for sure, God's the reason we have this. Miss Redbird tell you our marriage is just crazy. It's just my whole entire life, everything is way better. I mean, I had a horrible marriage, and it was my fault, before some of hers. But
Excuse you.
But yeah, it's good stuff. What made you do these live streams? Just answer questions. Yeah, there's so many questions that goes unanswered, and I'm telling you guys, if I had internet, I wouldn't be so behind. Like, I don't even read the comments on my videos hardly at all, and I want to, but I have no internet. I'm doing it on my phone, and I cannot stand answering comments on my phone. I hate it. How I used to do it is I'd upload a video, and for the first hour it was up, I'd hang out at my computer. Hour, probably to 2 hours sometimes. And I would just refresh it every once in a while. And I would watch a few YouTube videos or work on another video or thumbnails or whatever. And I would sit there and refresh the video, and I'd go down and answer them. And now I can't do that because I hate answering comments on my phone more than anything. I just hate looking at a small screen. I just can't stand it. I would rather be sitting at a computer and doing it. So I'm going to get back once we get $5,500 so Charter can have our souls and run the internet out here. See, that's another thing. Like, it's internet. We need merch. We need blah, 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 blah. I almost feel like I should do merch first because that's going to help pave the way to get the internet. But thank you, William, for watching. Have a good night. Kisses. What do you think
It's our
about?
bedtime too.
It's Miss Redbeard's bedtime. Ain't mine.
5,500, yes, 5,500.
What?
Internet.
Yeah, internet, because we ran underground stuff to the shop and we're 1,300 feet from the road. So they have to dig another ditch underground to run the large coaxial, like the main cable. I can't remember what they call it. But they have to run it out here to the shop. I can't do it. I can dig the trench myself and save me a couple thousand. But I'm telling you guys, that it's going to be rough. It's a rocky, Tennessee's rocky, too rocky by far. That's why we get our corn from jar. You know what I'm saying? They're Rocky Top song. But they're going to hit some rocks. It's going to be a pain. I almost want to spend $5,500 and just hang out and watch them, and watch them just hit perfect soil, all the way. And
Make a video about that.
Heckle them the whole entire time. Just we buy a set of mobile bleachers and just move it as they're moving, just heckling them the whole way.
Look at this one.
Yep, go
Have
ahead.
you ever worked on a John Deere Gator? Ours revs up, kicking the motion really hard, but once it's in, it's okay for a while. Is that a belt or maybe weights?
It's doing what now?
Rev up and kick into motion really hard, but
Oh,
once
yeah.
it's going, it's okay.
I would say your springs are getting wore out in your front pulley, your drive pulley that's on the engine. It seems like you could have got, over the years, springs get hot and working. They're going to get weaker and weaker. So I would do a new pulley. You can get pulleys cheap now. So you could replace that pulley for $100, maybe even cheaper to $150, somewhere's in that range. I think that would fix your problem. Or check your belt too. Make sure it ain't all ate up. Is that Naval?
Mm-hmm.
Naval, thank you for your donation. I wish you'd asked a question. We hate people spending their hard-earned money and not getting something from it. So yeah, I need to. Oh, Starlink internet is not right now. It's not in our area, but it's supposed to be by the end of the year. The only thing I worry about Starlink is I'm probably going to get Starlink because it's $500 for the equipment, and then it's like $80 a month for 300 megabits download speed and upload speed. Like, it's super crazy fast for what it is. This is what I worry about. It's going to be great when it first comes out because there's not a lot of people on the network. So what's going to happen is, like, it's unlimited internet when you first get it, but in a year, is it going to be unlimited? That's the problem. It can't handle the bandwidth of being unlimited forever. So then what if in a year they throttle you back to 100 gigs a month? I'm telling you, we would eat up some. I think everybody would be surprised at what a normal family eats up in data. And I only watch TV at bedtime. And normally I'm watching like something like The Office, Parks and Rec, some TV show. I watch 3 to 4 episodes, unless I go on a binge one night and stay up to 1 and regret my life the next day, my decisions in life the next day. But that's all. Miss Redbeard never watches TV. But she uses her phone more than, she don't ever sit down in front of TV unless she's watching Parks and Rec or something with me. Grayson will burn a hole through a TV, and our daughter doesn't hardly ever. I mean, she'll watch, Grayson, and Aubrey likes movies. Miss Redbeard don't. Like, Grayson's wanting to watch all the Star Wars right now, so we started with episode 1, of course. I'm wanting to do it right. And so we'll burn through those, but son of a gun, Disney Plus only lets you watch it in 4K because our TV's 4K. So I think it burnt through 6 gigs of data to watch episode 1. And that sucks because Verizon only allows you 15 gigs of Wi-Fi tethering per device. So you got to really throttle yourself. I'd rather buy the Blu-rays, honestly, instead of running out of data. Like right now we have 2 videos we uploaded today that are not live, that all I need to go do is put links and stuff. So one will be out tomorrow and one probably be out Friday. So stay tuned. They're good old tandem mini bike where we ride it and stuff. there's some good information there. Jungle Bob Repair, thank you so much for your donation, and it's going pretty good. We're about to kill this live stream soon, and I'm going to watch some Parks and Rec. And then Patrick Exstorm? Ekstrom. Didn't see the R in there. Thank you for your donation. Make sure you guys, if you donate, to ask a question, say something. We would love to answer a question, anything.
Are you a full-time YouTuber?
Am I a full-time YouTuber? Yes. We've been doing it for
Full-time, I would say.
4
3 or 4 years.
I'd say 4 years full-time. It took about 2 years before I got to do it. Oh my gosh. So, glad to hear you're a fellow Parks and Rec fan. Not everyone gets in it like The Office. Oh, I loved it. I don't know. I think it's right up there with Office. I mean, don't you? You said you like it better, right?
Yeah, but the second time around, the first time we watched it, I didn't really.
Yeah. I liked it the first time around. Becca didn't like Parks and Rec as much first time around. Now we're watching it. We watched it years ago. In Spiderwebs. Train. It's crazy. There's a train miles away from our house, and we hear it perfectly fine. We're on the highest peak of Sweetwater, like the highest hill. Our church is actually on the highest hill, but we're long down that valley, and we can hear everything up here. Especially massive hornets flying around. Just bought a 2006 Virago. Any suggestions what to do to it? Exhaust and jet the carb and put a good air filter on it, and she'll open her up quite a bit. Thank you, MRC Builds. We appreciate it. Go get you some night-night.
What size nut and bolt do you use in the oil sensor?
What?
What size nut and bolt do you use in the oil sensor?
I think it's a 7/16 fine thread is what I used to. You can coarse or fine thread, but I'm almost positive it's 7/16. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. It's been a long time. See, Tillotson's don't have an oil sensor because everybody used to gripe like, "Why are you deleting that? Why couldn't you hook it up to?" It's for a pressure washer or something that gets tipped over, so it'll shut itself off. Like when you're pressure washing, you might not know that you're pulling on the cord and flip over that puppy. Then it's going to run out. It's going to run dry on oil, and that's the only thing it's there for. Why does a Tillotson 212 not have an oil sensor? Because it does not need to be on a go-kart or a mini bike. It'll actually cause you more problems down the road. So, but I'm pretty sure it's 7/16. I actually got a whole pile of those fine thread bolts back in the day before Royal King was in town. I used to go buy a bulk of what bolts I used and keep them in bags. And I have one sitting somewhere just in case I ever do have to do a bypass surgery. But, so thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate all the love and support and the kind words you guys and the questions that get asked. We really appreciate it more than you guys know. I know it seems like we're distant on social media and stuff, and we don't mean to be. Again, we're getting all this stuff worked out, like internet and our schedule. It's the hardest thing in the world to balance family and a needy wife and stuff. But we really appreciate all you guys. Thank you for every donation, every question. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. And we will be, oh, son of a gun, we didn't mention it one time. We're going to be at Quantum in Charlotte, North Carolina on the 23rd, which is Friday. This Friday, the 23rd, will be in Charlotte, North Carolina at Quantum Machinery Group. You can go on our Facebook or Instagram to see the flyer for it. We would love if you guys are in the area from 1 to 3. We're going to be having a meet and greet there, hanging out. We'll have some stickers and stuff. Come and see these tables in person. You'll be blown away with the quality of these things. They got crazy machinery. I mean, they got some wild stuff. You don't have to buy anything or nothing. Just come hang out with us. Get to meet us. Get to meet the guys at Quantum. They're an awesome group of people. It's great. They're great, great people. I'm going to kiss them all in the mouth mentally when I get there.
But it's nice to have business trips back.
Yeah, it's good to have business trips back where everybody ain't scared of their daggone shadows, which Quantum used to be in California, so during whole Corona, so now they're in North Carolina, so we're glad to have them as neighbors. So make sure, if you're near Charlotte, North Carolina, even if you got to drive a little bit, come up and see us. 1 to 3 on the 23rd, which is Friday. address is, you can Google Quantum Machinery Group in North Carolina, and the address will pop up on the top listing. But you can go on our Facebook pages and stuff.
We like to put faces with names.
Yeah, we like to put faces with names, so come out and see us. It's at Quantum Machinery Group in North Carolina, 23rd, 1 to 3. Be there or be square. We'd love to see you guys there. We hope we do. So yeah, we're gonna do more live streams throughout this week. We're gonna do one on Instagram tomorrow, and I'll do one on Facebook. We ain't been on Facebook in 27 minutes. So
Facebook is slow.
Facebook is a grandpa's app. If you're not on Instagram, get on Instagram. TikTok's good too. Miss Redbeard's been killing it on TikTok, I think. She's been doing a really good job. I'm proud of her. Better than I would have did, because I wouldn't have did it. So,
You didn't do this.
yeah, she did it all. She started it, and so go check us out on there. We love you guys. Thank you so much, and God bless each and every single one of you.